The Bible is for me.
We're diving in, we're going deep. In over our head we're gonna be.
That's not going to make it on the podcast.
Caught in the rush, lost in the flow. Rob, keep it rolling. In over my head I wanna go.
Rob, cut it off. He's gonna.
Wide.
What are you doing?
Water is alive.
What song is this? Is that Nickelback?
It took a turn. I think probably if I sang any song long enough, it would turn into Nickelback.
Yeah, that's your
I'm
key.
gonna find my way.
You have the key of Nickelback.
I'm gonna start with Whitney Houston. I wanna dance with somebody else.
That's a little Creed-ish.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Yeah, tell me where one starts and where the other one ends. Welcome to Christian Movie Club, everybody. I'm Anthony. That's Tim.
Hey.
You're in the club. You can find me in the club.
Stop singing.
I want to show the people my range.
It's gonna be Nickelback.
You can find me in the club. Body full of buzz. Nickelback doing in the club would be a good one.
There's people that do those mashups. I do like it.
Did I tell you about my idea? Never mind. That's it. I'm not. Needs to be an offline one. Anyway, Christian Movie Club. We're out here today. We're talking about a highly requested movie, Tim.
Yeah.
Since the inception of this segment, we've had this movie requested.
We have. And now we're doing it. We're jumping in.
In fact, you could almost say there's been a war going on trying to get us to do this movie.
Not in real life. There are real life wars going on, but that's not what inspired this.
No, the movie though is called War Room. This is Christian Movie Club, and we are today talking about the movie War Room.
You didn't call it The Bible is Funny.
This is a Bible's Funny podcast?
Yeah, you said this is the Christian Movie Club.
Welcome to Christian Movie
We're
Club.
not rebranding something.
No.
That's not the name of the
This is the
podcast.
thing, though.
This is
People
the segment.
get it.
This is a subset.
People get it. There's a sheep.
I don't think they can see it on the camera.
The listeners are like, I don't know what's happening right now. There's a sheep behind me. If you've never seen the video portion of this podcast, it's great. It's a really cool sheep.
What's her name?
Beth Sheepa. Mm-hmm. Beth Sheepa.
And who's our new sheep?
We've welcomed a new sheep that I actually don't think is in the shot right now.
No, it's
and if
not.
I get it out, I would need you to help me spot because it's a big one. But Tim has named this new sheep.
What's her name? What's her name?
Ulysses.
Mm-hmm.
EWE. Okay, War Room. Tim, let's get right down to business. We've consumed the movie War Room separately. We've come here together with our friends to discuss. Mm-hmm. What do we need to know about War Room?
I'm sure a lot of people have seen this film, War Room, but for those of you who haven't, and those of you who don't know the details of it, War Room is a 2015 flick with a 2-hour runtime. Mm-hmm. It's written by the Kendrick brothers, that's Alex and Steven, and directed by Alex Kendrick. These guys, if you are not familiar, which you should be, these guys are known for iconic Christian movies like Facing the Giants, Fireproof, etc. And if you're not sure which brother is which,
I haven't
Alex,
seen etc. What's that one about?
oh my gosh. If you're not sure which brother is which, Alex is the one that looks more like Billy Bob Thornton. And he's the one who's in this film.
Yeah.
So if you see him side by side, you're like,
Yes.
What looks like Billy Bob Thornton? That's Alex.
Just saw Billy Bob in a T-Mobile ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thoughts on that ad, the second we watched it, I looked at Rach and I was like, it feels like both T-Mobile forgot they hired Billy Bob Thornton and Billy Bob Thornton forgot he booked it.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to admit. And so they all showed up and they were like, yeah, so we have a super bland costume for you to wear and you're going to walk
Don't really have a script. Can you just make some stuff
just
up?
sort of say T-Mobile's great. And like,
I can do that.
The ad got all the way out the door with everybody going like, no, that was intentional.
That's because he's that good.
Disappears into the character.
Back to this film. Estimated budget for this film was around $3 million, and it took in about $11 million at the box office in opening weekend. Worldwide grossed more than flip those numbers around, $73 million.
Whoa!
Yeah. So
that's great.
Some people are making some money on Christian flicks.
Yeah.
And some people are not. A lot of people are not, for good reason. They're not good.
People are not.
This movie stars Priscilla C. Shirer,
Shire, I think.
Shire. It's not spelled like that. As Elizabeth Jordan. She's from The Forge, and I can only imagine. T.C. Stallings as Tony Jordan. He is in Courageous, My Brother's Keeper, and in a movie called My Daddy's in Heaven. Have you seen it?
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought it was seemed topical. Sorry, Anthony's dad died. It's hilarious. Karen Abercrombie stars as Clara Williams, the elderly woman. She's also from The Forge. She is in a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and she also plays an oncologist in The Vampire Diaries.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I think a key. I haven't seen The Vampire Diaries, but I can't imagine the oncologist plays a small role.
Yeah, I mean, vampires need proper medical care too.
That's right.
You know,
if we make a movie one day, Tim, can we call it All Dads Go to Heaven?
No, some of them. The follow-up was never mind. Got that one wrong. She was Karen was born in 1956. She would have been 65 or so at the time of making this film. So they actually had to do, I think, quite a lot of work to make her look as old as she did.
Miss Clara.
Yeah. Like, she's very young looking in real life.
Yeah. Priscilla Schreier, I'm going to tell you, and maybe some of the audience that might not know, is also a really prolific women's Bible study creator, generator, speaker. She's very highly sought after for that.
Oh. Yeah, it's Shirer is the spelling. I'm just going.
This might be one of those. I've heard it Shire.
Could be. Let's ask her.
And it's like, but then you heard someone pronounce Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? And did you hear it right the first time? It doesn't mean just because they said it doesn't mean it's right, but that's what I've heard.
Fair enough. Moving on, Elena Pitts stars as Danielle, the daughter. She was also in The Forge and Into the Spotlight. Michael Jr., comedian, as Michael Alexander, his buddy Mike. He doesn't have a ton of like straight up acting credits, but he's obviously done stand up comedy for a long time. He's a professional entertainer.
Yeah,
dude's pretty solid, pretty funny. Anyway,
I love that they gave his character a last name. I mean, we could just.
Why do they give any character's last name?
This is Michael Jr. You're going to name him Michael. What are we doing here?
I think you do that in real. I think there's a strategy for doing that. Like, you kind of stay on your brand.
It's not Michael Jr. in the film because it's Michael Alexander.
But it's Mike. We all know
it's Mike either way. But
it's like Tim Allen being Tim the Toolman Taylor.
They're different people.
Tim. Alex Kendrick, of course, stars as Coleman Young, his boss, and Chuchukwu TC Chonkeya. He's like one of the war room soldiers that doesn't have a speaking line, but I really wanted to say his name.
And you said it so well.
I think so.
Chuchukwu
TC Chonkeya. If I got that right, Chuchukwu, give me a shout.
Chuchukwu for school.
But he's also been in other stuff. He's in Iron Man 3 and Homeland. And he plays Tupac Shakur in one episode of the TV series Over My Dead Body.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Rusty Martin Sr. is Tony's boss, Mr. Barnes. And I recognize him immediately from Princess Cut that we saw.
And I think even then we had the same conversation. That is not a NASCAR driver.
Correct.
But it's
very NASCAR driver. Like yeah. Rusty Wallace. You know.
I want to know the Marvel to War Room connect. We've got two actors jumping into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and in War Room.
The film finally also stars Beth Moore as Mandy, the old famous Beth Moore.
Also a prolific women's Bible study.
She's out there.
Author.
Beth Moore in the distance.
Great. Yeah, this is hopefully that sets the tone if you're not familiar with War Room. And this one is, we always say this, and it could be true on a lot of them. This one did very, very well in theaters
with the monies.
I think you have to say just like a successful commercial release. This film was just to kind of set that tone. That's the kind of movie we're jumping into today. Star-studded cast. I love it. I got a couple more questions for you. Give me, first of all, just to kind of set the table for people who maybe haven't seen it in a while, who have no idea what this movie we're talking about. Give me like a brief summary, if you will.
Oh, yeah. IMDb synopsis says, a seemingly perfect family looks to fix their problems with the help of Miss Clara, an older, wiser woman.
Oh.
And
Okay.
which is funny because I think Tony was trying to bring in another woman into the relationship. And she had an idea about bringing another woman into the relationship.
So your idea is great.
Oh, we both want to bring women here.
We're both trying to listen to women in this case.
Mine's just a little younger.
Sure. How about, did you find any reviews that might set the tone for anybody, again, to get on the same
I
ground
wanted
with
to be
the movie?
fair with the reviews, and I'll skip through them pretty quickly.
Go ahead.
And give a full spectrum. One says, great movie. Is the title. It seems odd to me that this movie would have received such a low rating so far. Unlike many Christian-themed movies on television, which are lacking in many ways, this movie is well worth watching. Another person said, not a good movie, but a good sermon. I'm a conservative evangelical Christian, and I can see that this movie has a really good message. If you're a Christian and have liked this kind of movie in the past, I definitely recommend it. That being said, I can't bring myself to give this movie more than 6 stars. I just can't. I thought that was really good.
Okay.
And another one said, a pretty good Christian movie. Didn't know they existed. War Room is a pretty good Christian movie, which is extremely hard to find. My God, just watched God's Not Dead and you shall see. But anyways, War Room actually has good characters, and the actors give, for the most part, good performances.
Yeah.
Gosh, I have a absolutely horrible one. My wife rented, he said, caveat, my wife rented this through Netflix thinking it was about something completely different, namely a military code breaking movie. I agreed to watch it after she encouraged me to keep an open mind. I take no issue with religious people or people who believe in prayer, but I think this movie taught the wrong message to anyone, religious or not. That said, I'm now helping her choose the movies in our Netflix queue.
So that did help a marriage, is what that review tells me.
Yeah. And then there's another review that kind of goes on. It's time to come out of the closet, he says. It's yet another film made to cash in on a recent Christian movie boom. Puts a message first in trivial matters like acting, directing, writing, editing, and production a distant second. And then it says, like, talks about Miss Clara. The only person who even tries in the movie is Karen Abercrombie, but she plays the sassy black grandma shtick to such extremes that even Tyler Perry would tell her to tone it down. She's bossy, pushy, and shouts, "Praise Jesus!" constantly when she's not speaking in overwrought war analogies. That being said, at least the scenes with her had some life to them. Anyway, they went on to really, maybe tell the truth.
You know, I will say, people, they're like, oh, I think that's a sentiment. It's like, oh, it's like the faith films are like a kick. But like, this segment has taught me lessons learned together. Am I right? They've been making these Bible movie stuff. It's like, don't claim it now. Like, it's been going on since like the 50s and 60s. We're making Samson and Delilah, and like, we're faith adjacent with our filming, our movie making. It's not new. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I get that it probably comes and goes in waves.
Telling a story of like an Old Testament Bible, like iconic story, isn't. I don't think we're calling that Christian adjacent, because also we can't claim that. If you're a Christian, you can't claim the Old Testament as yours, because it's not. It was.
Watch me.
It was here. It was here before.
Watch me.
It was here before.
I'm claiming
this thing was established. You can't.
I did.
That's because you have part Jewishness in you, and you can.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so table is set. The movie is War Room. The year 2015. Those are all the players. We're gonna dive in and go into some more depths right now. I'm gonna read a more thorough summary. So if you have not seen the film, you're completely caught up. But it will contain spoilers. Everything from this part of the podcast on will contain spoilers. What we've shared thus far is perfectly acceptable online. You can find it. This is like from the movie. So if you want to watch it, it was on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
I think so. Yeah, it was on Netflix. Thank you. So I'll put the link in there. If you have a Netflix subscription, you can watch it for free. And if you have your friends, you can also watch it for free, but then you don't have to pay for it. So that's a preferred option. I'll put that link in there. You can go check out War Room if you want, before we go in and spoil it for you. And then you can come back and we can discuss. I'll give you a moment to get your friend's username and password. Great. So you've either watched the film, welcome back, or you stuck with us. Here is a summary, the complete story, beginning, middle, and end of War Room, just kind of summarized very quickly. It's going to take far less than 2 hours. There's a battle going on between good and evil, between right and wrong, and it's happening in the home of the Jordans. The front lines lie just inside the closet arch of the family matriarch, Elizabeth Jordan. Souls hang in the balance as the issue in the Jordan family home leaves her daughter, Danielle, struggling with self-confidence. A wedge has formed in her marriage. Her husband, Tony, is coming completely untied, flip-flopping between faithfulness and infidelity. The entire family is on their heels at the brink of economic collapse. But with faithfulness, the guidance of wise Miss Clara, prayer, and a lot of baby powder, Elizabeth is finally able to tame the stank plaguing her family, radiating from her shoes. Now stench-free, the whole family lands on their feet. Elizabeth and Tony are 10 toes in on their relationship. Danielle is footloose and fancy-free on the double Dutch court. And once and for all, the devil is given the boot from the Jordan family home.
Well done.
War Room.
Well done.
War Room.
If you didn't catch it there was some feet and chewing out. It was woven in there.
Now that you mention it, I had noticed that. I didn't when I was before I
liked it.
did the reading.
I really liked it.
What was something that was shocking to you about this movie, Tim?
Well, let me tell you. I want to tell you one of the things I picked up in the notes. I think it was on IMDb. It was like the kind of did you know trivia. It said in the park scene, Danielle is seen feeding a squirrel. The squirrel was actually an answer to prayer. The script called for one, but there were none on site. So they prayed for one, and when they were ready, it came. In the audio commentary, Alex Kendrick says, "We prayed, God, we need one squirrel. And when we had all the cameras ready, here comes one squirrel. Comes right down the tree. We filmed those few seconds. We got it." And then the squirrel took off. Never saw it again.
Whoa! The squirrel was an angel.
Anyway, that's not necessarily my most shocking thing, but that was there. I just want to set that tone because we didn't get a chance to bring that up. For me, the most shocking thing, literally the most shocking, was asking another grown man just to do a backflip at the end of a basketball game. Like, is that more shocking, or is it more shocking that he actually did it? And he was like, okay, let me do a backflip for you. Like, who asked somebody to like put on that kind of show? Just
it was weird
after a ball game.
It was
like,
very weird.
Why did we try to fit that in here?
I felt
and that was early.
But you know why? Because then the movie ends.
Well, yeah, the double Dutch thing. But like,
why couldn't he just do the backflip during the double Dutch?
It wasn't like I bet he's gonna do a backflip in the double. Like, he can do it. Oh,
we needed 2 more beats of the backflip story. Like, it needed to be like the doctor's like, I don't know if I'm gonna do the pharmaceutical, and he was like, watch this. Like, the backflip needed to define him more if we're gonna use it this way.
If I'm just gonna raise my hand, we didn't need to extend this movie any longer.
But I'm just saying.
So we could have just not had it.
Make sense.
But it didn't need to, it didn't have to make sense.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It didn't have to be in there to be made sense of.
It's very weird.
It's shocking. So like
it's a pickup basketball environment.
Right. Who goes to their friend and is like, hey, do that backflip thing you do.
Do the thing you can do.
Remember that backflip you do? Do it again.
Do it right now.
No. Here.
It's just kind of like.
It's weird.
It didn't feel right. Didn't feel good. Something that was shocking to me was the specifications on the double Dutch tournament at the end. We had teams of full-grown people, just all grown, taking on little children, and we're just going like, this is the competition.
Well, they said parents could participate,
right? But then they said. But then you had, like, parents can participate. Feels to me like there's some sort of balance between, like, a kid for every parent. But then, and I thought that was kind of the vibe. But then you're like, 2 of the teams are straight adults. Mm-hmm. One of the teams gets third, and then the Jordan's team gets second. So a team of straight adults lost to a team with, like, 2 10-year-old girls on the team.
I think it's to your advantage to be a kid in a double dutch tournament. To be
Certainly
honest,
for height.
props to them.
Certainly for height, I would think you have more like clearance to be able to jump and things. I would think, but yeah, just the specifications on that were I was a little confused by. I thought surely we've got different categories, right? Where you're not like just all double dutch teams get dumped into the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it was shocking to me that. Maybe that's how double dutch rolls.
I don't know. It's funny. I had an alternate most shocking moment with the double dutch as well.
Okay.
But I was shocking that they were good. Like, the people were actually good at it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you can find that many people that are good at double dutch,
right.
Especially adults, especially white kids, to be honest. Like, I've seen a lot of white kids and how uncoordinated they are.
Yeah.
And they made it happen. So good on them.
Right. And that was another kind of shocking thing to me was like the Jordans team had a really nice routine, but I thought they had two all adult teams that were doing really, really impressive things.
Right.
Like even like, I think multiple flips, whereas the Jordan family team ended with Tony's big flip. And I just felt like the judging was a little skewed because, again, two of these like awesome all adult teams, one of them got third behind the Jordans, which like, I don't know what goes into the judging, but the double dutch tournament was shaky for me. It was a little shocking. Give me a character you want to see less of.
I know this is going to be controversial, but kind of like that reviewer said, it's like tone down Miss Clara a little bit. Like she's a little much, and it's not like her as a character. It's not like I need to see less of her. It's less of like versions of her. Like specifically when she starts like butting in, like really pushing herself into the situation. I was like, if I'm a stranger and she starts pushing me about my prayer life, like, hey, nice to meet you. What are you praying about? I'm not gonna like that. I didn't like that. I felt real icked by that. 'Cause I've had that happen to me kind of situation. People think they know you better, or they just have a key to get inside your life. And they're like, tell me about that.
Tell me all the things.
It's really gross. And I don't like that. I didn't like some of that stuff with Miss Clara.
Wow. I feel like that's
I know it's a hot
take from you than
it's a
usual
hot
in
take.
that
I know,
segment.
and it's not her because like she had some high moments for me too. Like at the beginning, she's like, when she gets asked what room is this, and she's like, it's my sitting room, and she says, what are you doing there? And she says, mostly sit. Like, but her delivery of that was like really good. So like she had these moments of being fantastic, and then it was cranked up, and then that ickiness of trying to jump into like meddle in someone's life. Like, I'm not here for that. Like, get out.
I see what you're saying about the practicalness of that, but I would also like, I do think she was bringing so much of the energy of the movie she brought, and I feel like sometimes when you feel like, I have to imagine, I'm not going to pretend like I know from experience, but like you're trying to like in some of them, there was a whole scene where she gets like the call and she does like a whole out loud monologue around the kitchen. I was like, oh boy, that's a lot.
That would be maybe a little overacting, maybe a little bit of like might have just been what the script called for, because the Kendrick brothers are maybe, I don't know, they write from their own perspective, and maybe that's not accurate to how people actually behave. Maybe, but they wrote it anyway. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe people but again, that.
But mine is like specifically on that meddling stuff, and that's real. That's a real life thing that happens. That has happened to me. It's gross, and I don't like it. And I wanted to see. I didn't like watching it happen to somebody else.
Yeah,
it's gross.
She does the prank with the lukewarm coffee. I was like a little bit like,
don't mess with my coffee either.
I know, that one. I think what you're saying, that's what it did to me. Is I was like, you want to make a point, that's fine. But if I'm gonna take a sip of coffee and it's gross, I'm now like excusing myself. I'm lost.
Yeah, you're getting the double birds, and I'm walking out every time.
Okay, a character I want to see less of. I kind of struggled here. I have two, and I'm really back and forth between the two. And the first one is the Kendrick brother boss. I just didn't, and because of this segment, because we love you guys so much, I have seen a lot of Kendrick brother acting, and I want to say just frankly, I didn't think this was one of his better ones. Thought he was a little bit like going through the lines, I don't know. We've talked before about sometimes when you do this, you end up directing and doing more of the things. And I just was like, I don't know. I just didn't really like. I thought a lot of these characters were kind of in it, and he was a struggle for me.
He should have channeled more of his Billy Bob Thornton.
Right, right, doing the T-Mobile ads. And then also Tony's almost mistress.
Oh,
Boy, like almost like cue cards were behind. Like that was very. And you didn't read her as a. Like she's done other things, so I hate to do that to people who sometimes it's just like, I was helping them out.
Yeah, my list was getting too long as it was.
That character was just like, oh, I don't believe she's into Tony. I don't believe she's works here. I think I don't believe any of this from her. And her, like, it just was a little also like sometimes Christians are like. I wonder, because if you're out here being like, I make good, wholesome family movies, and your like cheating scenes are really good, there's probably an issue, right? So what they end up is like, I think this is how people cheat,
right?
And it's like she's like, I would like a glass of wine, but it's not here; it's in my bedroom. And you're like, oh,
yeah. It's one of those moments where you say, right, what you know, maybe.
I don't know. That doesn't feel right to me. But here am I talking, and I'm like, I wouldn't know how to write the dialogue.
Yeah, but you'd ask somebody.
Yeah.
You would get some feedback.
I'd find my skeeziest friend.
That's why I'm here.
Tell me how this usually sounds. Character you wanted to see more of?
Okay, so it's more of a situation, but I wanted to see this thing developed, like really go on. I want to know exactly like what happens with the money that Tony gives back to his boss. Yeah. And like the drugs that he gives back to his boss, like sort of just returns the stuff, returns the money, and it's like, well, they can't put it back on the shelf, right? You can't just put medicine back on the shelf.
Been in somebody's garage.
Yeah, and that money's already been kind of lost. I mean, who's to say if it ends up in my pocket? And so I want to see this like next story of like.
I love that.
Yeah.
So the boss is like,
what do I?
So I actually think you need to give the money back in cash to me.
Right.
And then I'm going to give it to the company.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll hand it over.
I'll definitely get it to the company.
I want to see exactly. I want to see what he does with that. I want to see this like scheming thing.
Ooh, I love that.
Write what you know. I'll do it.
I had, okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Question.
I wouldn't write that.
I want to see more of. And I had a couple notes before I went into actually a similar situation that you just did. I did say, and again, and I think we're not actually on the opposites of it. I thought Miss Clara was solid. I thought she was bringing a lot to the movie. She was kind of moving the thing along. Almost like you have in the like story structure. She's the guide for Elizabeth, and she's really doing. Sometimes that guide is like a lesser note, and sometimes you have like Yoda in the second Star Wars, where you're like, it's just a standout character, and it's very memorable.
Right, but Yoda didn't go like, praise Jesus, I'm gonna take the show from here. Like, but can you imagine if he did?
I think it'd be a better movie. Star War Room. Sequel. I thought Miss Claire was good. I want Michael Jr. You alluded to it. I was a little bit like, oh, I want more. Like Michael Jr. is solid. He's very funny. I actually saw in research for this, he did another movie called like Selfie Dad or something, and I was like, oh, maybe we should check that out because I like him, and I saw him in the movie, and I was like, God, I want more.
Yeah.
So those two left me for more. Similarly, to your like building out another thought though, Miss Clara and Elizabeth are mugged at knife point in a garage, and Miss Clara, maybe reinforcing Tim's point a little bit, is like, no, I will not be mugged in the name of Jesus, and it works. The mugger just quits and walks away, which is great. If that's a real story, that is probably this is probably a fine strategy to try to get out of being mugged.
Sure.
I don't know, but that's what happens. I want the mugger. I want like the mugger going home and not having anything to show for a day of mugging, and again having to regularly explain why he can't mug anybody. Like all it takes is you just say, I won't be mugged in the name of Jesus. I think there's other reasons this guy can't pull off a mugging.
His wife is like, are you going to have to go out and get a real job now?
He's like, this is his dream and he can't pull it off.
I won't go back to selling shoes. Cindy, okay? You get to follow your dreams.
And he jumps out in the garage. He's like, give me your money. And the guy's like, oh, I don't remember what pocket I put it in my pants. And he's like, oh, okay. Walks away. Like, give me your money. And then someone's like, I'm really late I'm supposed to get to a doctor.
Okay,
go ahead. Like, he cannot seem, in my mind, this is a character who cannot mug anybody. He just can't bring himself to do it.
Now that he's shook, he had this like terrible like reaction. He just can't. I can't find my groove again.
Right, and he's like, he's got such a little proximity weapon, and he's kind of timid, and he's like, really, I actually got to be really close to threaten you with a knife, and I'm not that into this. So yeah, he's got to keep. I want more stories of him coming home.
I'm here for that.
I love the line. You go get a real job. I want to mug people. I just can't. My dad was a mugger. His dad was a mugger. Oh, he's like the runt. He can't do it. A character that reminded you of me, Tim.
Well, you're going to like this because it was Mike. It was Michael Jr.'s character.
Jr.
He was just
Loved him.
likable. Like you said, he's such a good character. I mean, there's no question why you and I are probably drawn to that character in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because he's funny. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian. Mm-hmm. He does this professionally. So the parts that stand out to us are funny, actually funny. Yeah. And we like him.
Yeah.
But he's a really good friend. And he also plays basketball. How else could I describe you?
Oh, Tim.
Come on.
That's very nice. Mine was it was a very specific exchange. I like Miss Clara for the guide. I think you do that for a lot of people. You help them see things and help them be better versions of themselves.
Butt into their business.
But there was one scene in particular, and you actually alluded to it. She goes in, and Elizabeth is like, what is this room? Which, by the way, that scene felt like the tee up to this joke felt pretty forced.
Right.
But it was like, what is this room? And she was like, oh, it's my sitting room. What are you doing here? Mostly I sit. And it just brought me right back to a story I want to tell our friends and let them in on. Where Tim and I were out to eat before a show recently. And we were... Tim's very chatty with people out in the real world, and I'm a little less so. So he's typically chatty with, like, when you're at a restaurant with the waiter or whatever. And this particular waiter had come up several times, and there was several things that made this interaction funny. She attempted to fix our wobbly table, but the moment I'm keying in on is, like, she brought our cards back, and she was like. She was like, Anthony Russo or whatever, and she gives me mine, and then she says, Tim Wyckoff, and she gives you your card back, and she says, Wyckoff, is that a family name? And we both look at each other, and it was just so much like asking, what do you do in the sitting room? Is your last name that you got from your family
family name?
A family name? Mm-hmm. And you didn't, and you're always working about how to be nice and funny and things. And I watched you, like, just spin around
so many
and
jokes.
go, yeah. I mean, it is. And that was the moment it reminded me of.
It's the last name I got.
It is a family name.
It's the last name.
My last one. All right, give me a low point for you.
So I had to bring up the squirrel before. The squirrel having a 2-second shot. Like, for all this, like, big hype that I received before when I read that little blurb, mm-hmm. It wasn't even a good shot. They didn't need a squirrel for the shot.
I literally don't remember this at all.
That's the only reason I remember it. But then the glowing up of this moment, like, God sent us a squirrel that was added to a scene that didn't need to be added. It's like God let Tony do a backflip in the middle of the basketball game. You didn't need that either. But you don't have to hype it up. Like, why was this a big deal? Why was a squirrel written into a freaking script that wasn't necessary?
Danielle feeds this squirrel.
It's like, it's like a 2-second shot. The squirrel just, like, shows up and it's super zoomed in. Like, you can tell it's bad. It's a little blurry.
Actually, yes.
Like, it's not right.
I do remember.
And yeah, then the squirrel ran off. I guess maybe he was an angel squirrel, and that's
It
all
had
you
to
get.
be, yeah, there's like a sentimental on-set
Like,
backstory.
we have to keep this thing
that
in here.
doesn't work.
But again, it was written into the script. That's what we read. It was written into the script that a squirrel would be there.
Right.
Why? Why did you like pray for, of all the things to pray for in the movie? Maybe pray for some better writing? I don't know. You don't need a squirrel.
Maybe they also prayed that it would make $73 million.
They did it.
And
They
that-
sure did it.
That happened as well.
Yeah. There was also another low moment. Maybe I'll give it to you later. You can give yours. I don't want to steal it from you.
My low point was, at one point, Elizabeth's kind of realizing how bad the situation's gotten at home, and Danielle asks her 3 questions. And I think it was like a series of questions, but it was like, what trick did I just learn in Double Dutch? What are my team colors? Blah, blah, blah. And Elizabeth doesn't know the answer to these like really basic questions. I just was like, I mean, a couple things. One, like, you got 1 kid. Now listen, I've got 2 kids, and I can tell you that does start to creep in where you're like, I'm getting stuff mixed up. I call them the wrong name pretty regularly. Like that's the thing that happens. But this one was like, and then I want to say, especially like, I don't know, every mom I've like been around has been like pretty dang connected to this stuff.
Yeah.
So to frame it like she wouldn't know this really basic formative information about her only daughter. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it fit in the story.
Yeah.
Like, I get that things aren't good at home. Like, that's fine. You've hit that. But to bring it to the point of like, she's like, "What's my name, Mom?"
Right.
Rebecca? No, she knows her name. She knows the sports she does. She knows this. Moms always know that stuff. Moms know what she was thinking yesterday, right before she fell asleep. Like, moms know that stuff.
Even the worst moms.
Like, they do. They are connected in a supernatural way. That was my low point.
Yeah.
I couldn't take that.
My alternate one that it's worth mentioning was when she's like actually selling the house afterward, like towards the end of the movie, and the man coming in, like there's a husband and wife that come in and check out the house.
Yeah.
And he's looking around, looking at everything, and he stops and he looks at the war room and he goes, "Someone's been praying in this closet." It's like, okay. Okay, yeah, you can tell that someone's been praying in here. You can't smell her feet, or real estate agent's feet, but yeah, you can see that someone's been praying in the closet. It just reminded me of like the delivery of it sounded a lot like Goldilocks and the Three Bears too.
Oh, it's like
Someone has been sleeping in my bed,
Yes.
and she's right here.
the last house we were in, there wasn't enough prayer going on. And then the house before that was too much prayer. This is the perfect amount of prayer in this house.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was a scene.
It was kind of funny, but
Yeah. Another, I guess another low point for me that I do think bears mentioning is they reveal that Miss Clara's son is the city manager in a way that I was like, did we cut the part of the movie where that mattered? I don't know if you felt the same way, but she walks in and she's like, "Miss Clara, you didn't tell me your son was the city manager." And I'm watching the movie going like, "Oh, what is that helpful to someone? Like, how does that connect?"
I don't know what city managers do.
Only from Parks and Rec.
Right.
I know that there was a city manager in Parks and Rec.
Couldn't tell you the day-to-day.
I don't know what they do. I don't know why it mattered to anybody. And that got me thinking, actually, I went on kind of a rabbit trail and I was like, does it matter what like anybody like does? Like, that feels like one of those comments where you're like, "You never told me your brother was a chiropractor." Well, unless I had specifically asked, like, "Do you know a chiropractor?" You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah,
why
yeah.
else would that? I can't believe you didn't say that before.
Right.
Why wouldn't I say
It was never relevant.
When would
Yeah.
it matter?
Yeah.
When?
Well, to be fair, Miss Clara is a bit nosy and kind of puts out information all over the place, whether you ask for it or not.
That's
so
maybe true.
it would
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
shocking to her. You didn't tell me something.
You've told me
anything.
so much.
You've told me everything else that I need to do.
Barring that, I think the only other thing is if her and Priscilla were having coffee and Priscilla or Elizabeth at one point was like, I don't have personally in my family any family members that manage cities. Do you have anything to add to this conversation? And then if Miss Clara sat that out, this is a very warranted comment.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not mention that? It was pretty teed up at one point. Okay, give me high points.
All right, this is my high point. I felt like it was a good point, or it was a good one. Like the score when she was in the house and she was like praying to the devil, like praying the devil out.
She's praying against the devil.
Well, she's talking to the devil, but she's talking to the devil.
Right.
So you're kind of praying to the devil.
No.
What are you doing then?
You're praying to God about the devil.
No, but you're speaking to the devil. You're saying, devil, get out of here.
Yeah.
So
It's talking to the devil.
okay, there we go. Who's not there that you can see. It's kind of like prayer. Anyway. Okay, not praying to the devil, but she's talking to the devil.
She's talking to the devil.
It was like really spooky.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, I'm like watching this thing happen and like watching this whole thing unfold and the way the camera angles were going and moving around the house and she's walking around the house and she's talking. I kept waiting for like something to pop up in one of the windows. I was getting chills like watching this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then she went outside and kind of butchered it after that. And then of course after that,
Right.
she prayed out the devil from the house and into her husband's stomach, and then he threw up.
That's right.
That's exactly what
That's
happened. But anyway, the music, like the score, all of that, like that feeling that was happening right then was really good.
I want to say more about that, but what you just said made me think of just more terrible, like, suggest an affair lines.
Right.
They have cheesecake here. There's also cheesecake in my bedroom. How many times she was being really over, like Lindsay Bluth.
And also, I think if you're really going to cheat on your spouse, just throwing up once isn't going to stop you.
It did for Tony.
It did for Tony. Like I said, it's a little bit unrealistic.
Because how's he gonna do his backflip? He's gonna get what do they call it? The spins or whatever when you can't land.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have your core centered. You're doing backflips.
He's doing backflips while he's cheating on his wife.
I don't know how he got this woman's attention any other way. That's his go-to move. Okay, what did you say before that was? Oh, the devil scene. Yeah. Like, I'm not a big one on the, like, not today Satan stuff. Like, I'm not like living in that space where I'm like, we should be yelling at Satan. I also watch a scene like that and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should do like a clear Satan out of my house too. Just to be safe.
Yeah.
It seems like, why would you not?
Yeah.
That seems like maybe we do it.
It's like doing the prayer of salvation 75 times as a kid. Like,
yeah.
Because just to make sure, did it stick? Did I do it right?
Right.
Because
There's
churches
part
made me afraid
like,
of that.
No, you don't need to do that. And there's part of me that's like, yeah, but I mean, if you did, worst case scenario, nothing happens.
Right. Worst case scenario, you're right back where you started.
You sort of run something out of the house was in the house. And so I'm watching her do that and just like, oh, maybe I should put a reminder on my phone like quarterly.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, hey, devil, you're not welcome in these rooms. Again, just making sure.
Excuse me.
Someone had moved in that I can't see. I don't want you in here. I'm too passive, but it's not going to work. Clearly, like that speech is not going to do anything. What I just did, so I got to work on that. I'm just doing Elizabeth Jordan's. I'm just going to read it word for word.
Just play the movie out loud.
Okay, high points is what we were on. I loved Elizabeth Jordan's interactions with her daughter's friend Jennifer. I loved it. I love the way she said all 3 syllables in her name at like Jennifer. Don't tell anyone I'm eating chips, Jennifer. Like it was very, and I resonate with this. I'm going to be vulnerable with you and with our friends. There are some times your kids have friends that you're not super friends with.
Mm-hmm. They're turds.
That's what
That's what I say.
That's what I felt from Elizabeth Jordan here. Is like, you're at my house all the time, and I'm saying, and she's just like, at one point she's like, you want to stay for dinner, Jennifer? I hope your family's well, Jennifer. And I was obsessed with it. I was like, this dynamic is so good. Mm-hmm. And she has, like, on her prayer wall, she's praying for Jennifer's family, so don't go too in crazy with this. She's a good mom. But
love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. You know,
she was not happy with Jennifer, and I resonated with it.
Mm-hmm. That scene, geez, you brought it up, but that scene, like the closet scene where she's eating chips, like her telling Jennifer not to tell anybody about chip eating in the closet made it a way bigger deal than it needed to be.
Yeah, like, don't tell anyone about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
a weird thing to say.
Then don't make a big deal about it.
I think yeah. There's just all those dynamics were funny. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, she's in the closet eating the chips and her feet stinking comes up again for the 100th time. For the viewers that haven't seen this movie, I really want you to know, like, to me, it is jarring what an ordeal they made out of her feet stinking. The whole movie comes together in her husband, like, rubbing her feet and making a joke that he has to wear a mask while he does it. Because, like, clearly this is like a medical grade issue that we've made this so nuclear. I just was really struck by that.
Yeah. And
I kind of wanted to say, in maybe High Points would have been a fine spot for this, that good on Priscilla Schreier, because she rolled with, you're going to tell the world I've got these, like, stanky feet this whole time. There's another scene where they make a huge joke about her breath being so bad that the delivery guy can't possibly be around her. And I just was like, I mean, good for you for being a sport, I guess.
Yeah, but that's not how, like, it's so, I think that's degrading. I don't think you need to write your main character, who she is. She's the hero of the story. I don't think you need to write her having these, like, embarrassing flaws. Like, it's unnecessary.
Right.
Unless you're just, like, if you think that's like the only reason why Tony would cheat on her is because her breath stinks and so do her feet. Like, right. That's just bad writing. Like, there are other reasons, like that marriages can fall apart and whatever. But, like, yeah, don't do that. Like, that seems mean to do to your main character, to this actor who is established and does things well, and, like, you want this likable character,
right?
But then you write her in, like, these really embarrassing ways. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah. Well, I would have felt a little odd being like, okay, like, I'm thinking in terms of the set. Mm-hmm. So in this scene, just to kind of put you in it, your feet smell so bad that the people are 2 doors down in the neighborhood. Right. And you're just like, right. I can imagining in the moment being like, my gosh, it seemed reel like this back a little.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like an inside joke maybe, or like something that the writers were writing about their own spouse that they wanted to sort of sneak in here.
Right.
And that was gross.
And also, we can't, like, I'm not trying to, you know, with gender norms, but, like, we're going to say, it's more likely that the woman smells so foul that, like, everybody, we're gonna play on, like, that's a more likely scenario. Mm-hmm. I feel like that it would never happen. I feel like the numbers are gonna skew the other way if I'm just taking a stab in the dark, like a mugger who doesn't know how to mug. That's where we get that phrase. Is that guy
a stab in the dark? That's actually not a phrase.
He would show up at night.
It's a
give me your money.
It's a shot in the dark, or take a stab at it.
Give me your money. Nobody's in here with you, Ted.
Not a stab in the dark.
You're so bad at this. How many raised hand emojis do you give this movie out of 5?
Again, we have a weird rating system sometimes with movies that are good, well done, and some that are poorly done but totally worth watching.
Okay, so first question to you then is this. I think this is how we do this from now on.
Oh boy.
Are you going to do the rating on the, like, B movie sort of cringe scale, or are you going to do it on the quality film side?
I let's go. Maybe I'll do quality side.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I do that and you do your whatever scale it is. You judge movies on.
Quality side for this one as well.
Okay. Quality side, like, well done, well executed movie, good actors. Mm-hmm. But, like, could have easily been a 4 or a 5, like, very close could have easily done that, but let some of the writing, like the bad writing, hang on. Like maybe bad writing that was in the script that shouldn't have been there. They kept it in there, and it had to stay.
Yeah.
And then so it affected the whole product, and so I think you're down to a 3. Quality wise, could have been like with a couple of tweaks, couple of edits, cut some things out, rein in some of the characters, and then you got yourself a 4.5 movie.
Yeah.
But
I think what I've picked up on here, and I didn't notice it at first. This has come from this project. There's like a strategy to like make a faith-based film that has like curriculum attached to it. And I do think that the Kendrick brothers I can point to.
Right. Just like Fireproof. It looks exactly the same.
You're like, behind this, I have a curriculum and like a tool. So I'm basically creating a film. So I just think that's important to know, because you go like, why does this film feel a certain way? Because we're leading you to a like the 8-week war room class that you and your spouse should take.
Right.
We're leading you to the 8-week like.
So either make a movie or make curriculum.
Correct. That's what I'm.
Pick one. Yeah.
And I think for viewers, that's what I think. I'm kind of obsessed with like communication and media and how to properly consume it. And you can look at stuff and go like, oh, this is sort of made to like sell. And people pick it up in other things. I don't want to just put this on faith films, where you go like, oh, they made a Star Wars movie that certainly feels like they did certain things so they could sell plush toys, and there's a scene that feels like it's going to be a theme park ride, because it is, because like that's the strategy. We're not just about making a movie here. We've got other so I don't want to like put that on faith movies. That's other people will be doing that too. But the movie's going to hurt. The movie's going to suffer because you're not in it just to make a movie.
And that's like, what we're here to talk about.
That's what we want to talk about. So that was a very long-winded way to say I completely agree with you. I gave it a 3. I honestly laughed when you read the thing, because it's like a 6 feels right. 6. 6 for me. 3 out of 3 raised hands emojis out of 5. Well made. I thought I can't say enough about like Priscilla being Elizabeth Jordan. I thought she did a really good job. That's tough to do. She went from I don't know about her other like acting credits, but I know she's primarily a speaker, presenter, like plays herself in like the character she is in front of other people a lot. And this is like, to do this, I was like, she very successfully did that. Like a lot of people can't do that. You're a fine speaker, but then when you go like be an actor, it's different. Yeah. And I thought Priscilla did great.
Yeah.
I think it was great to see Beth Moore in the movie. She just reminds me of like the evangelical Oprah in some ways. Like she's just such a personality. And I actually went on a little rabbit trail of that in my mind, because both of their husbands, they like reference a lot, but neither of them are super in the spotlight. And like I think there's parallels there. So it was good to see Beth. It was a 3. It's just like a quality, solid made movie. When Christians are entering the movie space, they should work with people that are also being cast in Marvel movies and stuff. Like that's correct. That's what you should be doing. That's good. You're going to make a good movie that way. This is a 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. And if you're making it doesn't matter how good the production value is of like what kind of cameras you have, how your lighting is, how you stage stuff and block scenes. If the writing is crap and you stick with it and you don't edit that stuff out, that makes the whole film smell like stinky feet.
Clip it. That's the soundbite.
You did it.
Yeah, but again, like I can't stress enough how the clarity this brought me of like, why is the writing not great? Because we had to structure a story where like one person's very specific set of replicatable choices saved a marriage.
Right.
And why did we have to do that? Well, because we're selling the steps after the program, after the movie.
And I even wrote in my notes that it was just like Fireproof, and that like spouse has a change and implements that change completely on their own, does their own individualistic thing, changes their lifestyle, changes their habits, and then is like sort of shocked when their spouse isn't catching on and like doesn't get it right away. It's like, but anyway, it's the same movie. You know, except the addictions are different.
I have an addiction. It's in my bedroom.
I did like there was a moment where
this is too on the nose.
Miss Clara, you talk about communication and I talk about project management. Like this, like I love like having that mindset and like sort of you're directing. Maybe you didn't write it. You're not acting.
Yeah.
You're not doing this thing, but you're managing this thing that's happening. And there was a moment where I feel like Miss Claire took one of my, like a line that I would say to someone. She said, she was talking like a project manager. And I think it was, man, I forget her name. The main character. Elizabeth, yeah. Okay. So she's talking and says, I don't have time for praying every day. And Miss Claire goes, oh, but you have time to waste in arguments with your husband every day? I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. It's about time management. I don't have time to do this. Oh, you have time to just fumble around and not find your stuff? Be organized. It's a project manager thing.
You're like Uncle Sam poster.
You be organized.
So that was War Room, everybody. Thank you for sending it in. We do hear your submissions, and we respond, and we watch the movies. War Room, it's the classic. This is on the I would say this is on the Christian movie Mount Rushmore for sure. So it's good to get it done here on Christian Movie Club.
We did it. You
can send your suggestions for Christian Movie Club at The Bible is Funny on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's a video as well. So you can watch it on Spotify or YouTube. You can check that out. I think that's all we have for now. We'll be back here with another movie review very soon. Until then, wash your feet, and we'll see you later.
Love you, bye.
The Bible